Hello and welcome back to commentary for the Drift Battle DVD. This is part two, but it's actually Drift Nationals round three. This is the first one that they did at QR, and once again I invited Tezuka to come over from Japan and do some demonstrations. It was relatively short notice, so we didn't wind up inviting anybody else over. There were a couple of other Japanese drivers there, but they weren't actually D1 drivers, which I'm not sure people realised on the day. Interestingly, they decided to use turns 1 and 2 as part of the drift course. And if you've been to QR, turns 1 and 2 are absolutely massive, very high speed corners. And at the time, most drift cars didn't really have enough power or grip to do really high speed drift like that. So I'm not sure it was really a good idea. But at any rate, it was a fun event, if a little bit dusty. Once again, we've got this intro animation by Noriyaro, Alexi Smith, who is also doing the commentary. That's Cat Calero, who called herself Drift Cat. She had done fairly well at the first round in Melbourne, driving a blue VK Commodore, but at this event she was driving an S13. Was Josh Young in the white A86 leading Bo Yates in the silver one. They had quite a few battles during the weekend. Actually, it was really good. It's one of the many tyres that Darren went through on his Laurel. That was one of two Laurels that Darren owned at the time. This one was really well set up, actually. It was great to drive. Had a I think it was a naturally aspirated RB25, but it had been fitted with a HKS 2535 turbo, which gave it loads and loads of mid-range grunt. And the way the suspension was set up, it was just a really nice car to drive. Unfortunately, he had a couple of problems that day. Tyres is one of them. Later on, he also lost a gearbox. But these things happen. that was the other two Japanese drivers, with Tezuka following them in the Laurel. And there's Camo. I think that was probably when he first painted that car like that, so it was a bit of a shame that he pulled the bumper off it. And I'm pretty sure the guy with the camera around his neck there is Alexi, better known as Noriyaro.
The third round of the High Performance Imports Drift Nationals is at Queensland Raceway. Between battles, D1 driver Tezuka Tsuyoshi takes to the track with a pair of street drifters from Osaka.
Hang on a second. He's on top of the car, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side. We're standing on the roof, if you don't mind.
After popping the engine in our drift battle Sylvia, he hops into Darren Appleton's C33 Laurel.
Bang, sets themselves up, picks up 50 points.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I had brought my S13 up there for the event, but unfortunately it didn't survive very long. I actually don't remember what specifically went wrong with it, but basically another one of the CAs let go. So it was about that time that I decided I was going to put a 1JZ in it. Luckily by this time Darren knew Tezuka pretty well, so he was quite happy to let him drive the Laurel.
We're taking out the cone to the bottom end of the track. Look at the colours and the lines they're taking into corner one. Just nice and close. Aware of where the other driver is, that's what you call starting slow.
By that point, Tezuka was pretty much driving by himself.
Come on, guys, put your hands together. This is what you come to see. The D1 boys showing off at the bench. Side by side, donuts, the doors are open. Technical driving right there, nice and close within 6 feet of each other.
It's no surprise he broke the Laurel's gearbox later in the day. Another Japanese driver at the event is Shino Murai, who actually entered the factory class in a 1-via she borrowed from Darren Appleton.
That's Shino changing her own tyres, as she always does. She actually owns a drift workshop in Saitama. And I think by this point, Darren had already met her in Japan. So he was happy to loan her this other car that he happened to have in his workshop. I think at the time I'd never actually seen Shino drive, so I was quite curious to see how it'd go.
Coincidentally, Shino's first battle is against Australia's female champ, Kat Kaliro.
It's so much fun, we're going to do it again.
All right. Okay.
Kat first, you behind.
Sure.
Then come around, you first, Kat behind on the second one.
Right.
Are we ready? Yep.
You see what I mean about how long those first two corners are? She came into it in 4th gear and it was still not really possible to link them.
It's all a bit confusing for Shino.
Thank you.
Kawaii desu.
Arigato. So, I don't understand. What can I do? I don't understand. understand. What can I do? I've lost or I won?
Oh, we don't know, so you're going to have to, I guess they'll tell you soon.
Sure. And I can follow him?
Yeah, just go sit up behind him and then they should come up and tell you who won. And
Thank you.
It's Bo Yates helping with some advice through the window there. Shino had pretty decent English because she had lived in New Zealand before, but she still found the event itself a little bit confusing.
And you, good Japanese.
You are through.
Oh, really?
You are through. Same here.
Oh, there's Darren. Obviously, he loaned her the car, so he tried to help her out a bit too.
Okay, I want to cut.
Thank you,
I did
Chino.
for you.
Oh, thank you.
Right, okay.
Hello, camera.
I know.
The privateer battles are mostly decided by who doesn't spin or whose car doesn't break down.
Bo Yates again in the 86. He did pretty well considering how unsuited his car is to that track.
By the top 4 battle in factory class, Shino is getting comfortable in the 1-veer, while Jerome loses the rear bar from his S13. Darren also has an easy win against Michael Spencer, who spins on turn 2. In the final, Darren had to do a repeat battle against Shino, and you can see here that his rear tyres are going.
Yeah, this was a bit unfortunate. Darren had done really well actually in that first battle. I'm surprised they didn't call it there. And then they made him do another one, and he had almost nothing left on the tyres. So after this lap, that was all she wrote. I love seeing a Laurel on 15s. It's so old school.
From the start line, Darren has no grip and blows a tyre before turn 1.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear it.
Perhaps busy looking for him in the rear vision mirror, Shino spins too. But as Darren has already retired, she gets to celebrate victory.
the top factory class here, right? Okay, you're number one. Now this guy over here in this little A86 Happy Rocky won the privateer class. What do you reckon? You want to have a shot against him?
If there were one, you do that. Maybe Kaya's racing, so I don't know.
I think in the end that battle didn't happen because there were literally no tyres left that Darren could put on cars. It was a pretty big deal for Shino winning that. First female winner of a Drift Nationals event, first overseas driver to compete and also win. A bit of a shame for Darren, seeing she was driving his car and she beat him, but I don't think he minded too much. Anyway, that's it for part 2 of the Drift Battle DVD. I'll be back quite soon with part 3. Thanks for watching and please subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers.